If you pull your 2026 refrigerator away from the wall and remove the back panel, you do not see a simple compressor. You see a wall of plastic, tangled wires, and glowing inverter boards. And if you try to service the sealed system, you are met with a financial and legal nightmare. Tamper-evident seals make it clear do not touch. Proprietary inverter boards blink warnings, and some components are legally restricted. Imagine this. It is 2 in the morning, and your fridge starts beeping error codes. Milk spoils, steaks thaw out, fresh produce turns to mush, and your family's entire weekly grocery haul, worth hundreds of dollars, is ruined overnight. One desperate call to a technician later, you are hit with a $1,200 repair bill that could have been fixed with basic tools. We are witnessing the death of the weekend fridge fixer. But this is not an accident. It is a coordinated war on your wallet, turning homeowners into lifelong subscribers. Manufacturers have sealed the system and locked the electronics. In this investigation, we are going to expose the biggest manufacturers waging this war: LG, Samsung, GE, and Whirlpool, and exactly how they made your own refrigerator illegal to repair. We will show you why the back panel of your fridge is now a crime scene, guarded by tamper-evident seals and proprietary electronics that no homeowner should ever touch. Most importantly, we will reveal the only 2 options you have left if you want to avoid becoming a tenant in your own kitchen. Here is exactly how they stole your fridge. The manufacturers didn't accidentally make repairs impossible. They engineered it this way on purpose. What once took minutes with a screwdriver now requires dealer approval and hundreds of dollars to get started. In the old days, if the thermostat broke, you went to the hardware store, paid $20, and swapped it in 10 minutes. It was simple mechanical copper and bimetal. Today, if you install a new inverter control board, or even a supposedly compatible part, into a modern LG or Samsung refrigerator, it often will not work. The fridge will reject it. Why? Manufacturers have embedded digital calibration data and serial numbers inside the inverter board. When you install the part, the main computer scans it for a factory match. If it does not line up perfectly with the proprietary firmware, the compressor locks out and throws error codes, 83C or 84C. The part is perfectly fine. The mechanic is fine. But the computer refuses to let it run. Step by step, you plug it in, power the fridge on, and watch the nightmare unfold: beeps, flashing lights, and zero cooling. To unlock it, you have to call the authorized dealer. You have to pay them a diagnostic fee of $150 to $400 just to plug in a laptop and run the proprietary sequence that tells the fridge the new board is allowed to exist. As of 2026, this proprietary firmware on LG and Samsung models prevents third-party boards from working without dealer authorization. They have digitized the screwdriver, and they kept the password for themselves. This is not about safety or efficiency. It is about killing the aftermarket parts market and forcing you to buy overpriced components directly from the dealer. But before they locked the software, they locked the hardware. Manufacturers call it value engineering. We call it a blockade. On a modern refrigerator, simple maintenance has become a geometric impossibility. Take the water filter. On a 1995 model, it took 30 seconds and a simple twist. On a 2026 LG or Samsung French door unit, you often have to remove the entire interior panel, unsnap hidden clips, and wrestle with the crisper drawer just to reach it. On many new units, they have deleted the user serviceable refrigerant access ports entirely. You cannot check pressures or recharge the system yourself. You have to trust sensors on the dashboard. When those sensors fail, you do not just buy a sensor. You buy an entire sealed system because the EPA now classifies any refrigerant work as restricted. But the worst offender is the compressor repair. On modern LG and Samsung models with inverter compressors, the unit is packed so tightly at the bottom that for any major work you have to pull the entire refrigerator out, remove the back panel, and sometimes disassemble the evaporator cover. What used to be a Saturday afternoon job in the kitchen is now a $700 to $1,500 labor bill. Why? You cannot change a failing compressor without EPA 608 certification and a $5,000 vacuum pump setup. They claim this is for energy efficiency and packaging. That is a LIE. They want you to look at that cramped plastic-covered machine room, feel overwhelmed, and hand over your credit card. You might think at least you can still change your own light bulb. Think again. On many modern refrigerators, including LG, Samsung, and GE models, the LED lighting and main control board are tied together in one inseparable system. Everything is now one smart network. If you buy an aftermarket bulb at a parts store and install it yourself, or even swap a simple door gasket that slightly disturbs the wiring, the fridge will not recognize it. The compressor will treat the new part like the old dying one. It will throw multiple error codes, beep incessantly, and shut down cooling to prevent what it thinks is a fault. Your milk spoils while you scramble for answers. To fix this, you have to call the authorized dealer. You have to pay them a ransom of $150 to $300 just to plug in their laptop and run the diagnostic sequence that reauthorizes the component. They have turned the simplest maintenance task into a paid appointment. You cannot talk about this without talking about Patient Zero, LG. Homeowners were the first victims of this war. They spent $1,500 or more on a sleek French door refrigerator, but if the linear or inverter compressor failed after just 5 to 7 years, a breakdown so widespread that it triggered multiple class action lawsuits across the country, the machine would brick itself with error codes. You could physically replace the $300 control board in 20 minutes with basic tools and a screwdriver. The part fit perfectly, and the wiring was straightforward. But the software would not recognize it until an authorized technician arrived and ran the proprietary calibration sequence on his laptop. Homeowners were left stranded with warm food and spoiled groceries, losing hundreds of dollars while milk curdled, meat thawed, and fresh produce turned to mush. Many families suffered through brutal summer heat waves, watching their entire weekly shopping bill rot in silence. The auto and tractor industries saw exactly how profitable this model was, and they copied it immediately. Now, your refrigerator goes into error mode, not because it is broken, but because a single sensor reading is slightly out of range, and the manufacturer wants you to visit the service center. The compressor slows to a crawl, the temperature creeps up, and your food sits on the edge of spoiling while the display flashes cryptic codes. The goal is not just repair revenue, it is extortion. Manufacturers have realized they do not make enough money selling you the fridge once. They want to sell it to you every few years. Premium brands like Samsung, LG, GE, and Whirlpool now aggressively push $20 to $40 monthly extended service plans that promise remote diagnostics and priority parts, features that were already built into the machine you paid for in full. Sign up or watch your repair costs double overnight. Think about the arrogance of that. You bought the fridge, you own the compressor, you own the control board, you own every coil and sensor inside it. But they put a digital toll booth between you and your property. The new smart features only make the scam worse. Wi-Fi connectivity and AI inventory apps let the manufacturer monitor your fridge in real time, then lock advanced functions behind paywalls or force you into their subscription ecosystem. This is not manufacturing, this is theft. They are trying to turn the refrigerator into a service just like Netflix. And if you stop paying, they can make repairs so expensive or so complicated that you are forced to throw away a perfectly good appliance and buy another one. So, is the weekend fridge fixer dead? Not yet. But he is being forced underground. We are seeing a massive rise in the black market for repairs. Homeowners are buying rebuilt inverter boards from third-party shops overseas and on back-alley websites, sometimes for half the dealer price. Independent technicians are quietly refusing to service LG and Samsung units altogether, steering customers toward older models instead. Families across the country are keeping 20-year-old mechanical refrigerators running at any cost, scouring junkyards, Facebook Marketplace, and Craigslist, just to avoid buying another smart computer on legs. DIY forums and Reddit threads are exploding with step-by-step guides for bypassing error codes, flashing aftermarket firmware, and sourcing third-party parts. even though it risks voided warranties and potential lawsuits. The underground resistance is growing every single day. Here is the verdict. If you buy a 2026 refrigerator, you do not own it. You are merely the primary user of a data collection device that is owned by the corporation. They control the software that decides if your repairs are valid. They control the parts with embedded serial numbers that reject anything not factory approved. And they control the repair process, turning every fix into a paid service appointment. This is the harsh new reality of home appliances. You hand over your money once at purchase, but the manufacturer retains permanent ownership forever through locked electronics and forced dealer dependency. The fridge in your kitchen belongs to them, not you. If you want to own your refrigerator, you have two choices. First, support the right to repair legislation in your state. New 2026 laws are now in over 25% of US states covering appliances. Second, buy an older analog refrigerator where the back panel opens to reveal a simple compressor, not a sealed electronic fortress. The war on do-it-yourself is real. They have sealed the system. They have locked the software, but they cannot take away your ability to choose. Reject the ransom. Keep the old box running, and never let them tell you that you are not allowed to fix what you own.